Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Imagine gaining the leadership skills that could redefine your career. Join Coach BZ in the Leadership and Success Podcast, where you'll discover practical insights from renowned speakers and industry experts. Each episode dives deep into essential topics like building resilient teams and navigating complexity, all designed for aspiring leaders like you. Don't miss our upcoming live sessions. Watch our recent sessions with Michelle Hayward on building diverse technical teams, Ron Carpenter AI exploring faith and leadership through innovative AI perspectives, and Chris Robinson leading from drift to drive. Ready to elevate your leadership journey? Tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Join the movement towards leadership excellence. Listen now and transform your success.
For this Leadership and Success Podcast. So first type of question, what is the greatest lesson you've learned so far?
I think my biggest lesson is about positioning. I don't try and set a course and say that's the only way it's going to be, right? But life has taught me that very, very infrequently do my plans go according to plan. What I always try and do is think about positioning a bit like on a chessboard, which is what can I do today that will be a no regrets move no matter what. So we started off this conversation talking about certifications. For me, it would be a good example. You're never going to lose because of doing a certification. It will maybe cost you time and money, but you're never going to lose. For me, it's a no regrets move. So I always think about positioning more than
Wow. So I know number 5, we kind of already talked about it. You mentioned a few books already, which is great. So this one we kind of touched a little bit, but if you had one day to live, what would you have liked your final contribution to be?
I would love to be able to give a smile and hope to somebody who hasn't got any. And it could be anything from, it doesn't have to be a momentous event, but I think we've all had moments like that where it could be with a stranger, it could be with somebody who's a friend, it could be with somebody in the family. It's often, in my experience, somebody who is going through something difficult or with whom we have had a difficult relationship. And there is just a moment of...
Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a journey of vision, resilience, and integrity, as exemplified by a remarkable leader in cybersecurity, Anne Leslie. Her story starts at her kitchen table and evolves into leading cloud risk across Europe, using a non-traditional path to break through bias.
I'm excited about this. It's really inspiring, starting as a stay-at-home mom and then stepping into the cybersecurity arena.
Exactly. And what really stands out is how she reframed failures. Instead of seeing them as dead ends, she used them as fuel to pivot. Like, embracing imperfection rather than chasing some unattainable ideal.
Yes, absolutely. And that notion of no regret moves really hits home, right? Essentially, it means making choices today that you'll never regret, even if they weren't part of some perfect plan.
Right on. It's like, strategic positioning over perfect planning. Instead of waiting for everything to be just right, you go ahead and do the move that increases your options, whether that's earning a certification or taking on a challenge at work.
Speaking of certifications, it's interesting how Anne's journey into cybersecurity was catalyzed by not following a traditional technical path. She leveraged her curiosity and then proved herself with things like the CCSP, CRISC, and CASM.
Yeah, and that's essential because it shows that sometimes your mindset and willingness to learn are more important than a formal tech degree. It's like your certifications aren't just badges, they're statements of potential and resilience.
Right, but I do wonder though, don't you think that sometimes too much emphasis on certifications can create a narrow view? Not everyone has access or the same support systems.
That's a fair point. While certifications solidify skill and can silence the doubters, they aren't everything. Your inner drive and your ability to continuously learn and adapt are key too.
Absolutely, I agree. And then there's the powerful narrative about how personal moments, like answering the probing question from her daughter, sparked a deeper self-alignment and led her to reevaluate what truly mattered in her life.
Yes, those are the moments that break you open and shape who you become as a leader. It's not just about technical prowess, but about resilience and emotional intelligence.
It's refreshing because, too often we focus on hard skills in cybersecurity, but Anne's story emphasizes adhering to your values, being compassionate, and building trust-based relationships.
Exactly, and that ties in nicely with her coaching philosophy. Her advice for emerging leaders really turns on the idea of building coalitions of influence, not trying to change the system alone, but, rallying a team around a shared vision.
Yeah, that's critical. And her mentor's influence is clear. Remember that pivotal moment when someone simply asked, "Have you ever considered a career in cyber?" It's almost serendipitous, like the universe nudging you to change course.
Right? It's like a domino effect, from a casual conversation to a complete, life-altering pivot. And this really underscores the importance of networking and keeping an open mind about unexpected opportunities.
Absolutely, and I love how she reframes those setbacks from being judgmental moments, like the recruiters doubting her potential, into fuel that propelled her further.
Yes, and that's a lesson for all leaders out there. Be the leader who takes a chance on someone unconventional, even when the evidence on paper might not be perfect. It's about vision and integrity.
Indeed. And speaking of vision, her outlook on work-life integration is quite revolutionary. Instead of trying to balance two separate worlds, she emphasizes integrating them with clarity and intention.
Right. She's not chasing that elusive balance like a myth. It's more about aligning your daily choices with your life's purpose. It's like tuning an old stereo. You adjust the treble and bass to harmonize what you're feeling.
I love that analogy. It makes it relatable. Leaders often struggle with asking, "What do I need to dial up today?" instead of just weighing hours off work versus life.
Exactly. And she also emphasizes being transparent with your team about why you might be more or less available at times. It's that honesty that fosters real connection and trust.
True that. Now, another topic that really resonated was her list of must-read books. Essentialism, Man's Search for Meaning, and The Courage to be Disliked. Each highlights a different facet of leadership and personal growth.
Absolutely. These recommendations aren't just for tech leaders, they're universal. They encourage us to strip away non-essentials and focus on what truly aligns with our values, almost like curating our inner leadership library.
And it's fascinating how those books advocate for having a clear internal compass. It reminds me of when she discussed that if something isn't a hell yes, then it deserves a gracious no.
Right? That's an approach that liberates you from the pressure of perfection. It's a no-regret mindset that guides you to make decisions that are, aligned with your core beliefs no matter how imperfect the world might be.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's her emphasis on listening, really listening. Whether it's remembering the name of someone's dog or understanding their struggles, leading with compassion creates a ripple effect of connectedness.
Yes, that human connection is what ultimately drives transformation. It's not about controlling outcomes, but about ensuring people feel seen and valued.
Absolutely right. I also appreciate her idea that sometimes the best leadership moves come from the most unexpected personal setbacks, like her experience of being a stay-at-home parent. It built so much resilience.
Exactly. Those early challenges, admittedly painful at the time, became the fertile soil for her growth. It's like, sometimes the most challenging ingredients are needed for the richest recipe in leadership.
Indeed. There's also that bravery in showing up as your authentic self. She was vocal about her struggles with imposter syndrome and letting go of needing to impress everyone with technical jargon.
Right. And that vulnerability is such a strength. It teaches us that leadership isn't about being a flawless expert. It's about continuous learning and growing through both the successes and the failures.
And on that note, isn't it interesting how she challenges the conventional corporate narrative? Instead of fitting a mold, she redefined what it means to be a leader by carving her own path.
Totally. The ability to say, I might not be traditional, but this is what I can offer, is a powerful stance. It's a lesson for anyone feeling boxed in by conventional standards to trust in their own potential and authenticity.
Yes, definitely. I really appreciate how she blends technical expertise with emotional intelligence and human-centered leadership. It shows that success isn't just in what you know, but in how you empower and uplift others.
Exactly. And that's the heartbeat of her message. Whether you're a junior leader, an aspiring cybersecurity pro, or just striving for personal growth, her journey teaches us to get started without waiting for perfection, to embrace every twist with resilience, and to lead with a genuine heart.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, any final thoughts on how her story transforms our perspective on leadership?
I think it's a call to action. It tells us that our past, no matter how unconventional, fuels our future if we let it. It's about taking those brave, no-regret moves, listening deeply to those around us, and never underestimating the power of human connection.
Yeah, that's deeply empowering. Absolutely, her legacy is about igniting hope and making real connections that transform lives, reminding every leader to always keep that in focus.
And that's the essence of leading with vision, resilience, and integrity. It's what makes a difference in a world that's constantly evolving, and it's a message we all need to hear.
Right, so inspiring. Thanks for this rich, engaging conversation. It's a beautiful reminder that leadership is not a destination, but a journey of continuous growth.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining in. Keep embracing uncertain paths and making bold moves without regret.
That is amazing. Actually, my mentor John Maxwell is the one who made that quote famous: "Fail early, fail often, but always fail forward." Actually, there is a 2-minute video clip by Will Smith and Denzel Washington. They kind of talk about this philosophy. Maybe at the end, I am gonna play it. It's very, very inspirational. This is wonderful, man. I'm gonna need to get you back here. You do have a hard stop, right? 4 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So quickly, man, I have so much to talk to you about. All right. So, what is the greatest investment you have made in yourself?
I think the greatest investment I've made in myself, education. I think the education has served me in so many ways. It served to...
There's a misconception about failing. You have to fail a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you have to fail early, you have to fail often, and you have to fail forward.
Fall forward. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. But I continued to fail, and fail, and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? You hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Do you have the guts to fail?
If you're not willing to fall on your face, you can't create at a high level.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.